Hello nerds, welcome to Star Wrath. We're going to try to give you as much information as we can as quick as possible without overloading you. The first thing to take a look at is your missions. You'll have some missions in here that tell you what to do, where to go, what to loot, what to kill. When you're in a match, you can click it with your map open and it'll show you on the map where you need to go for it, or if it's a kill mission or something like that, it'll give you a little yellow exclamation point above, like this, above whatever it is you need. But it will show you for location specific. It will give you highlighted areas on the map of where you need to go for the mission. Down here at the bottom is your season pass stuff. So it'll just be like collect stuff, kill stuff, upgrade stuff, that kind of shit. These will affect your season pass. The season pass has things like ship schematics. If you pay for it, you get some free consumables. Well, not free, but some consumables and money and doodads. And then this is where you get some of your parts. Schematics for blocks is what they call it. Any of the parts that you build your ship with are called blocks. These are mostly from the season pass and from player levels. I haven't found any in-raid yet. The in-raid stuff is modules. So if we go to the workshop, to the modules are your weapons, your engines, your shields, that kind of stuff. And to get more into that, when you are building a ship, we'll start with a fresh one here. So you pick a cabin, doesn't matter what it is. We'll go Odin. So if you hit your use key, I think I changed mine to F, maybe it's F default, it enables and disables the grid, so you have something to look at while you're building. So these are all going to be blocks. So with this specific chassis you can add 2 engines, and you can, all the buttons are down on the bottom here, so you can rotate things. You can change your rotation axis, which is not letting me. Oh, because you can only have engines facing forward. But you can mirror them. So if you want the little notch on the top, you can do that. You can mirror it, flip it around, and you got it on the bottom. So when you're building stuff, actually I'll come back to that. You can hold Alt, and it will double on the opposite side, whatever you're building, in the same place. So we'll put these here. We'll go back and we'll grab some engines. Same thing, you get it where you want it, you hold Alt, and bam, you got engines and you got guns. Now, we'll get into this more in a second, but not every module is made the same. So these are all gray level, like the first edition you get. The engines are blue, the guns are gray. Now, for block-wise, the only difference between these two is the blues have a little bit more health. Sometimes they're lighter weight. They give you a little bit more structural stability. And then the blues get a buff to whatever it is. So if it's guns, you get a little bit of an engine, or a gun buff. If it's engines, you get a little bit of an engine buff. Now these are the important bits. These are your vectoring thrusters. Where you place these greatly affects how well your ship flies. So right now we have forward thrust, and then we have 4 vectoring thrusters on the top, and these can move like 45 degrees or so. So you'll get a little bit of movement to them. And then on the bottom we have 4. So we can go up, we can go down, but when it comes to strafing side to side, we're not going to be able to do a whole lot because we have almost nothing on the side. Now again, these can rotate a little bit, so you'll get just a hair of side movement, but not enough. So the way to fix that, and the way these are most effective, is if they're further out. So like if we were to, if we were to take these and switch them, you could do that, but now your vectoring thrusters are on the inside. So when it comes to rotation, you're not going to have as much force as you would if they were on the outside. So you can see all them numbers in the top there, 43, 36, 25. put them there, 46, 34, 29. So a little bit different. You gotta play with it, figure out what works for you. Some ships get multiple engines. There's one that gets up to 5. Some only get 3. Most of them get 4. And ideally, again, it's your preference. Do whatever you want. But you want 2 engines, 2 afterburners. Now you can run 3 engines, 1 afterburner. The difference is you have to have at least 1 afterburner to burn. But if you add more, you get more burn speed, more acceleration, more top speed. Your engines affect your non-boosted speed. So if you have more engines, you get more speed without boosting. If you have more afterburners, you get more speed when boosting. Now we added the extra retro thrusters on the outside, and you can put this wherever you want to. This is just an example. So now we have a little bit more up and down. We still don't have much side to side. These can rotate since they're already canted at a 30-40 degree angle. They will rotate down and act as side thrusts. Not effectively, but they will. So a good thing, or a good way to fix that, is your additional blocks here. There's multiple different flavors of the Comet. So the standard Comet is just base level extra thrusters. The blue one gives you better maneuvering, better strafing speeds. So if you hover over, it's not going to let me do it. Oh, here we go. So maneuvering engine gives you more strafing speed, as opposed to this one gives you more maneuvering speed, or tilting speed. So these, and if you place them up to down like this, yes, they will give you more tilt, but it's going to slow you down. Whereas if you rotate these, now you get thrusters facing forward and backward. So you have a little bit more speed when going forward, and you have some brakes when you're trying to stop, but they act as a good vectoring thruster to the side. Now this isn't going to be as effective as a strafing thruster being on the side, but this does work. So if we put these there, we got 1 on each side, we got some strafing, we got a little bit more turning, we got our mobility up. A better option for these when you get to that, these work perfectly fine for that, but when you get to this point, you put these somewhere underneath towards the front or the rear. I like the front so that I can tip the nose up faster. So when you're chasing something, you can chase quite a bit faster. And then you get your other flavor of Comets, and the gold ones are something completely different. And that's something that's going to be true for a lot of this, is the white to the blues are a minor step. Most of the time the golds are going to be completely different, and sometimes it's not what you want. So we grab these ones, and same thing, we're going to tilt them forward and backward, and we're going to duplicate it and put them on each side. So now these, since they have more strafing speed, these are going to work much better on the side when you're trying to strafe sideways. So now our mobility is much better. Not perfect, this is just something I'm throwing together for example. But this is a good example of, put your maneuvering thrusters wherever you need more maneuvering. So if you want the nose to come up fast, put them there. If you want to be able to hold space and fly the ship up, you want them on the bottom. Now you could put them on the top, on the back, still get the nose up fast, have some downward thrust. It's all a preference. But having the strafing ones on the side are definitely going to help you out. And then the other blocks, so I don't have, I don't have all of them. Mules. The mule blocks, the white ones give you 10 cargo space. The blue ones give you 15 cargo space. The gold ones give you 5 cargo space. And the reasoning is the gold ones also give you more health to your structure by a percentage. So keep that in mind when you're building, that not everything is just better because it's gold. So with these, you can put it wherever you want to. It just adds an extra 15 space to your cargo hold. This number right here, this 155, that's your cargo capacity. I don't recommend going over 200 because the more stuff you carry, the more weight your ship has, the more drifty it's going to be, the slower you're going to be. Doesn't make a lot of sense sometimes, but it's the way it is. So, again, do what you want, but I don't recommend going above 200. I think like 120 to 160 is perfect. So you could run one on this and still be within. And if you're building a fighter, don't put a shitload of cargo on it because it's going to slow you down. So if you're running a light chassis or something where you need some storage, sure, add one or two, but you'll see what I mean. I built a ship that had 260 cargo capacity, and as soon as you get to like 150, it starts getting real drifty and real like a floating brick. And as soon as you hit like 200, good luck, because it does not fly well. But anyway, just something to keep in mind, that not everything's the same. And then you get stuff like wings, and the wings will give you a flat 5% bonus to maneuverability. And you can see it up there. Flat 5% per wing. So, if we'll put that there for a second. I'm going to reposition this to show what I was doing earlier. So if we put those there, we put these back here. Now, with wings, you could put them on the outside, and you could have wings. You can cant them at a funny angle and snap them wherever you want to. It's all preference. Build your ships how you want to build them. But what I like to do, and this seems to be working quite well and proven good, is you put them something like this, and now you got a little bit of extra armor without sticking out too wide. And you get that 10% bonus to maneuverability. The problem with this right now is that this one is covering this vectoring thruster. So you can do that. It'll just deactivate that thruster. You can do that, but I don't recommend it. So finding a spot where they will fit nicely without covering thrusters is kind of a challenge sometimes. But anyway, you get the idea. You can do all sorts of stuff, and if you use different engines that don't have the top thrusters, you can put them flat on top. There's multiple ways, but you don't have to put them in wing design just because they're wings. You can use them as armor, and you can put them on the top, the bottom, wherever you want to put them. Rockets, rockets come in two flavors. You get guided and unguided. The unguided block is massive, but it does a lot of damage, and you have to lead your shots and all that shit. So comes with two vectoring thrusters. I like these better than the guided rockets, depending on the build. They do a lot more damage per rocket, you get more rockets, yada yada. These are really good, but they take skill. The guided rockets come in a few different flavors. I don't have all the blocks. Some of them come with vectoring thrusters. So this one has two vectorings on the back. It kind of gives you highlights of where all your guns and your bullets and your thrusters are all going to go, so you can't block the pathways. But there is a difference. So like this one has less health, but it comes with vectoring thrusters, as opposed to, well, this one has a lot of health, but it's fucking massive, and this one also comes with vectoring thrusters. So, let's go back and look at the workshop. So in here, you can sort by things that you found, blueprints that you own, things that can be produced only, or sort by quality. So there's stuff like these shields. They don't give you anything but a lot of weight on your ship and some extra structural durability. You use these just like you would shields. You put them over your engines and anywhere you want to protect something, and they take the damage first. They don't have any bonuses or anything special. It's just health and weight and structural durability. Again, these are light weapons. The come with vectoring thrusters. These are pretty low on the durability compared to their counterparts, the Gremlins. They have a lot more health, but they are a lot heavier. So when you're building, keep an eye on the weight, because if you get above like 50,000 space weight, you're going to notice you're going to be slower, and it's going to be a lot more drifty, and you'll need more vectoring thrusters to keep yourself in check. Now there's heavy weapon blocks. So you get, let me backtrack, you get multiple different chassis. There's the medium chassis. I can go more into detail on all the differences, but basically the medium ballistic chassis gets the highest ammo count in the game. You get a mid-ground shield and structural durability. You get a better radar radius. You get a decent cargo capacity and pretty okay speed. Now you compare that to like the Nemesis, which is the heavy. Nemesis has less ammo, one less rocket pod, but more additional doodads. But then you get, for some reason, more speed, more cargo, less radar, more energy, more structure. Then you got some lights that are just really fast, not much cargo, yada yada. There is multiple ballistics. There's 3, a heavy, medium, and a light. I think there's 2 lights. Heavy, medium, and 2 lights for ballistics. And then you get 2 energies. You get a heavy and a light. And the energies have better shields. They have pretty good speed, but their radar range is insane. So both the light and the heavy get really good radar range. And each one of the additions, when you go from white to blue to gold, they give you something special. So this right here, this little bar of stuff, is all the upgrades that comes with this cabin. So on a standard white one, you get your shield and your escape pod like you do everything else. You get an extra 30% of radar range. You get 20% afterburner, and then your storage capacity. Then we go up 1 tier and it gets something else. You also get energy restoration to your afterburners. And then you go up another tier, and now you get more radar range, and I think a little bit more storage. This chassis, and that chassis doesn't come with thrusters on it like the light chassis does. So it has little thrusters for vectoring, yada yada. Pay attention to the numbers, because they're not always what you think. Just like when I was looking at it, the thing that caught me off guard was the Nemesis, even though it's the heavy, gets less ammo, but more speed compared to the medium. So I don't know. Pay attention to that, because it is different. And then when we go to something like weapons, heavy weapons are limited ammo, good for fighting ships, not great for looting. Light weapons are fantastic for looting, and they do pretty good against other ships in combat. But again, it's all preference, depends on how you build your ship. You can use one or the other. So if you go in here and you go to your settings down here at the bottom, you can pick which gun goes to which mouse button or whatever input you're using. So keep that in mind. You can change your inputs per gun. So you could run 1 heavy, 1 light for looting, 1 heavy for combat. There's countless ways to do it, so help yourself, have fun with it. The engines also, these are the electric guns. So there's this rocket pod, which is similar to the one that comes with the thrusters, but more health, no thrusters. So you can tuck this in somewhere in the middle and not have to worry about the thrusters. The engines also have buffs, and it is a little bit different. So we'll look at the Swifts, because I have all 3 of these. So your Swift comes with the 1 thruster in the rear, the 2 vectoring thrusters top and bottom. The default one just comes with regular maneuvering thrusters, and that's it. You go up a tier, you get a little bit of health, a little bit of hull durability, and then you get a bonus of 10% engine speed. That's the only thing that changes besides health and durability. Then you go to the gold. This gets that same 20% or 10% engine speed, but it changes your vectoring thrusters to rotation thrusters. So you can turn better. Something to pay attention to, because every block is a little bit different. But hover over these, and it'll tell you what it does. My fat head's in the way for most of it, but something to pay attention to. Now, when you get modules, so your blocks are your ship parts. If you die, you don't lose them. You build your ship, you die, ship stays. Your modules are the things that you lose when you die. So these are all going to be your different weapons. So if we go back here and we'll use this ship. You hit battle, it pulls up your setup over here, right? So you can add your consumables, you can change your engines. These are the modules. So you have the pre-installed, which is just very basic. Then you get a slight upgrade, and then you get one that's good for maneuvering and speed, and then you get one that's just straight speed. So you could change all that stuff in here, and it does reflect on here. So if we look now, we got just the regular two guns in the front, and we got kind of hard to see with the lighting, but we got just regular engines in the back. So now when we change the engines, we'll put the blue ones in, it does change the way they look, because they're just the modules within the block. So these will disappear if you die. Same thing for the guns. You want shotguns, put shotguns in there. You want a shield, put a better shield on it. And all of that stuff changes. But you die, you lose them. So your modules, those you can find blueprints for in-game. And there's a ton, and each one's a little bit different. So my recommendation is the white cannons for the light and the heavy are fantastic all-arounders. You can use them for looting, you can use them for combat, they work great for everything. Then you get stuff like, let me open up everything. So the blue light gun, it's just like the one that comes with it, standard machine gun, works great, lots of damage. You save a lot of ammo using this one over the white one. Ammo is important because you're limited to how much ammo you can bring into a run. So it's more damage, less ammo, better. Then you get like the plasma guns. These work great. This is a shit show of rockets. Works really good. You're looking at your damage, your blast radius, and your magazine capacity compared to like the stiletto. You get more damage per rocket out of the blue one. Plus or minus a bit. Yeah, it's like double. But anyway, the shields also a little different. So the shields are 85% damage multiplier to your shield on the white one, but that's pretty much the only bonus you get. And the blue one, you take normal damage, but you get 75% more shield. The yellow one, you get 100% faster shield recharge. The numbers are the important bits. This will take some time getting used to. I will say things with multiple shot salvos, like the chopper and the shotguns, are not good for looting. They are only good for killing because you will blow through your ammo really fast. Let's see, where's the shotguns? So, chopper is this thing. Here's a plasma shotgun. It's a 4-shot salvo. Here's a kinetic shotgun. It's a 4-shot salvo. You blow through ammo, but it does a lot of damage. You get stuff like the plasma, which is a single shot, very high damage, long cooldown gun. Not great for looting, even though you could, but high damage, so you have to, it's good for strafing runs. You fly in, shoot them, fly past, turn around. The railguns are different. So you have a standard railgun, you have the rapid fire railgun. These are different than standard guns. They do not do a lot of damage. Sorry, my fat head's been in the way all this time. But they travel through multiple blocks. So you shoot somebody in the ass with, a shotgun or a cannon, you're hitting the blocks on the back of the ship, and that's it. With a railgun, you shoot through the block on the back, straight out the cockpit through the front, and you do that little bit of damage through the entirety of the ship. So it's important to line these up to get them to be maximum efficiency. But something to be aware of. The damage is terrible if you don't know how to use them, but once you realize they penetrate like they do, they're not bad. I'm all over the place. I'm losing track of what's going on here. And then, the double shot rockets for the auto or the smart missiles. Again, you'll be able to figure it out, read the numbers, figure out what you like. You basically want more damage for less bullets or less ammo. And then you have your resources. You will need alphas to make white. You need betas to make blue and gammas to make the gold items. A lot of this stuff is easy to find when you know where to look. It just takes a little bit of time. But consumables, I guess. Well, consumables you'll figure out. It's basically shields, health, some shield and health modifiers. These explosives are quite good, and you can drop them out of the back of your ship. As you fly by somebody, they blow up, and it does a lot of damage. Ammunition, something that's kind of hard to keep a hold of because you have to craft it. But again, when you know where to look, easy peasy. And you can only bring a certain amount of ammo in on a run. And then what else? Oh, storage. Your resources, this is pretty much a whole list of the useful stuff. I'm going to show you where to find majority of it, or at least give you a hint at it. Your crew members are all a little bit different. So you have your crew's skill, the one that comes with it at the top here. And then the bottom one that's behind me, hold on. This one is your skill that you can change. So as you loot escape pods in Raid, you get different abilities. Now it does cost some points. I forgot the bioessence or whatever to change these out. But be aware that you can pick a skill to complement your first skill. The first skill on all the pilots is not changeable, but the second one is. It just costs the stuff, the bio resource. Let's see, did I miss anything? I think that's pretty much it. Build what you want to build, have fun. So this is the ship I built for gathering large amounts of loot. It's just a heavy chassis with light guns. This is the wing design I was talking about, where you can cover yourself with some wings for some extra shield or armor, I guess. And then this is one I put together for combat, and same thing. Wings, it's the shorter ones, so I'm not covering the thrusters, but wings for armor works quite well. Keep an eye on your weight, work on your vectoring and all that shit. You'll figure it out. So, there I am. I'm going to take you on a little trip here, and we're going to go check out the moon. So there's multiple different maps, the moon, Deimos, and Antaeus. The moon is the easy starting area. Every place has a 10-minute time limit. Deimos is the second map, medium difficulty. Antaeus is the final map. This one still has open gates. This one you have to either use a manual gate that you have to put in 5 iron to open, or you have to go hit the timed one and wait 30 seconds. But this one still has 2 that are open all the time, and the moon has 2 that are open all the time. But anyway, we're going to go to the moon real quick. I'm going to show you where to find stuff. So there is hidden boxes. You can go loot the containers. There's containers that are locked. You touch them and it hacks them. And long story short, you sit there like this down here. This is a container in between these pillars. You can sit there and wait for a minute for it to hack, and then you get the stuff that's inside of it. In my opinion, not really worth doing those. So on top of these tracks, here's one. So this thing right here doesn't look like much, but this is a loot box. So keep an eye out for the balls, because they can spawn anywhere, like here, on top here, up on the roof. They can spawn pretty much anywhere. So keep an eye out for those. And there is another style. Oh, look, there's one right there. There's another style. Oh, Mr. Casual is here. Alright, here we go. So this is the other style. It's a shipping container, I guess. I don't know what you would call that, but this is the other style. Keep an eye out for this. Another loot box. And if you don't know to look for those, you will not find them. But they will spawn in most places on every map. And then there's some ones that are a little bit more obvious. This facility, I guess I'll show you this first and then we'll go over to the other spot. So this facility here on the moon is the automated station. This place has those containers tucked in all over underneath. So see all these little exclamation points because I'm tracking a mission. The exclamation points do not show up normally, but these little balls here, tucked in underneath, are all around the legs of all this station. And then on the top of the station, on the pillars, there's more. So we'll head up there real quick. So usually up here, there's some right there. So if you don't know to look for them, you wouldn't see them, because I didn't see them for the longest time. But now they're everywhere. So keep an eye out for those. And it's the same on every map. So you go to a location, if there's supposed to be loot there, keep an eye out for those, because they're going to be stashed on buildings and yada yada. These are the crates that you can hack. I guess I'll hack one real quick and show you. These ones don't take long, but the other map ones take forever. But you do that, you get some doodads out of it. Nice job, dumbass. These are some more things you can shoot to loot. If you need your thermite chains, that's where you get them from. Little orange containers, perfect. Thermites all day long. There is some other goofy looking ones if I can find them. Yeah, here you go. So this ball one here is the same thing. That gives you thermite chains and whatnot as well. But they're tucked in. A lot of them are tucked into weird places and you don't really see them unless you're looking for them. Now this is a manual gate, so you gotta pay 5 iron to get through this gate. That's an asteroid in the way. Another ball. But you cannot open that gate unless you pay the 5 iron tax. Then it opens, takes like 2 seconds to open, and then you got like 5 seconds or 10 seconds or something to get through it. There is stuff scattered everywhere. A lot of the stuff I'm not covering because they teach you pretty well in the missions and tutorial and all that. So like what ships to attack, what to not attack, all that kind of shit. It covers pretty well. The space elevator here is a lot of containers up at the top, but they're protected by a defender. You can find some good stuff there. I haven't checked that lately to see if there is those container spawns that I found. But there might be, tucked into the nooks and crannies and all that. And then this spot here, so any one of these terminals can spawn those boxes. All this stuff, these floating debris, you can shoot all this stuff as well and get some goodies out of it. So depending on what you're after, that's a fantastic place. But The automated station is the best place for batteries, electronics, any of the high tier stuff you need for crafting. It's hidden in those containers. Space elevators got some other random odds and ends, but the missions will tell you what you need to go there for. Crucibles for thermite stuff. Keep an eye out for the gold stuff. Trying to think. I think I covered pretty much everything. The timed gates, they're called timed gates, but they've always been open. I don't know if they're planning on making them shut off at some point or another. Ow. Yeah, see, I'm at 100 pounds, so I'm way more drifty now. Or 100 space weight, if you will. These asteroid chunks. If you see these things floating around, absolutely shoot these, because you will get debris, and debris can spawn pretty much anything. So really good for finding some of the more rare stuff. But you can go through the gates at any angle. You don't have to go through them from the center. It looks a little goofy, but you can still slam through the back end. But I think I covered everything. Everything important anyway. There's a little bit more in-depth stuff, but a lot of it you'll kind of figure out now that you know where to find stuff. We got quantum processors, we got motherboards, we got thermite, and from that debris we got boosters and flight path comps. And then it gives you, you didn't die, you didn't lose anything, so it's all your stuff still here. But I think that's pretty much it. I guess if you got any questions, shoot a comment or come pick on me. I stream every day. I'll probably be streaming this for quite some time. It's a lot of fun. But if you ever got any questions, need more information, you want to see me cover something else, I will happily try to help you out. And happy hunting, good luck. See you out there, hopefully.